Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
The dilemma I have right now is that me and my girlfriend are looking to buy a house within the next year, probably starting summer 2025. And we're debating whether to go the conventional route or go the FHA route that Grant Cardone and many other real estate gurus preach.
Yeah, you had me at Grant Cardone.
Guru.
Okay, what is causing you to want to buy a house when you don't have any money?
I'm sorry?
What is causing you to jump into this? Because FHA loans
my
are first-time home buyers who are broke.
My girlfriend's going to graduate from college around May of next year, May 2025, and depending where she gets a job, that's where we'll be looking to buy a house and settle down.
Okay, and why? What's the urgency to buy a house versus rent until you have enough money to do this with a little bit more peace and equity?
The fear of, I guess, throwing money down the drain.
Let me paint you a different picture of fear. You move into this house with an FHA loan, meaning you have to borrow the rest of the money because you're putting basically nothing down with these loans.
That's right.
Now you have a giant mortgage that you can't afford. That's 64% of your take-home pay, and you don't have money to pay the rest of your bills. Do you see that side of the fear?
I do.
And the problem is your risk meter gets broken when you follow these gurus out there who are saying, bro, here's how you get this house and you're going to rent it out. You're going to buy 10 more houses. By the time you're 30, you'll have 100 houses. And you're going to – that's pretty much what they're saying out there. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got to turn off those inputs because they are not there to bless us. They're there to they want you to buy a course and go to the 10X event where you're going to 10X your mindset and all this crap, right?
So that you can have a yacht too. It's important to point that out.
So that aside, here's my beef with the FHA loan. So this is a Federal Housing Administration loan. It allows people who don't qualify for a conventional mortgage to still become homeowners. So you can put as little as 3.5% down, and they have more lenient credit requirements and allow a higher debt-to-income ratio. Here's the problem. Those borrowers are required to pay an upfront mortgage insurance premium, MIP, of 1.75% and an annual premium of anywhere from 0.15% upwards of 0.75% for the life of the loan. The only way to remove that is to put more than 10% down. Even then, you still have it for 11 years. And so there's a lot of downsides here, and most people that are trying to do these loans are simply not in a place financially to make home ownership a blessing instead of a burden. And I want you to do this the right way. And another way you're going to do it the right way is with not buying a house with someone you're not married to. We have seen too many times, Daniel, on this show where people call in and say, hey, I bought a house with my girlfriend, it didn't work out, and now it's super messy because it's like, who gets to keep the house and how much equity because I put this much down and she didn't. Do you see where this could go south?
Yes, absolutely.
And so, number one, I would rent. I'm not going to comment on your situation, but until you're married, I would not buy a house together.
Okay.
Can you promise me that for the good of the group? Okay. And number two, don't buy a house until you're debt-free with an emergency fund and a solid down payment. I'm not saying you have to have 20%, but you have to have enough that you've got some skin in the game to where you're not underwater on this house when you move in.
Okay. Now, I do have a follow-up. And I understand you just said not 20%, but at least enough. What is the sweet spot at which point you're not, I'm not missing out on the cost of opportunity on taking extra money and investing it in the S&P 500 or et cetera, of a list of other.
Do you have any debt?
I have about $20,000 of student debt.
Okay. How much money do you have saved?
$50,000.
Great. Why aren't we paying off the student loans today?
Because.
Let me guess. The opportunity cost of investing that in the market.
Yes, sir.
What's the interest on your student loans?
About 4.6%.
Okay. And the $50,000 is in a savings account making 4.7%?
No, it's in the market. Well, it's
then you don't have $50,000 saved. You're playing with $50,000. If the market goes down 20% this year, you don't have $50,000.
Okay.
So that one alone frightens me that you have nothing in liquid cash. So here's what I would do if I was in your shoes. This is one man's opinion, but this is the Ramsey plan that millions have followed to a path of peace instead of a path of 10xing your mindset. Here's what you're going to do. you're going to sell enough investments to pay off the student loans. You're going to sell enough investments to give you a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And then whatever's left becomes your home down payment fund. And you're going to move that into a high yield savings account. Because you told me a house is not a 5+ year goal. It's like a 1+ year goal, right?
That's right.
Let's play this out. Elections coming up. Everyone freaks out. Stock market takes a dip. Your 50 turned into 30. Temporarily, but still. You want to buy a house next year. Now you thought your down payment was going to be 50. Now it's 30. That sucks, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And so I'm trying to give you a path of peace where you're moving slower, but you're actually going to get to where you want to go without falling flat on your face. So I know I sound like the old guy in the room, Daniel. I think you're a real sharp guy. The fact that you've come this far, you've saved this much, you're investing. I love that you want to grow your wealth, but there's a few prerequisites here that I think you should knock out.
Yeah. And Daniel, I'll just add this. George said it, but I just want to drive this point home. By keeping this student loan out there and just keeping it like it's a pet, and then putting all that money in the stock market, you've doubled your risk. You've not removed any risk. You're not playing this smart. You've actually doubled your risk because you could lose that money, as George said. Some money, any money to me is so ridiculously risky, and you still have the student loan hanging on to you, dragging it around for years and years and years. So I would just really implore you to think through that. Because that's not what you're hearing on TikTok and Instagram. Because, by the way, we're not selling you a course to tell you that. We're telling you now. And I just think it's really important not to get wrapped up in that. You're looking at the short-term gain, and you're not looking at the long-term play. And the long-term play is you're going to be wealthy if you get rid of all the debt in your life, and you got a house that's an appreciating asset, and there's no risk in any of those moves. None. So I hope you understand that. I really do, because I know that's countercultural is what we're saying.
I understand.
All right.
I'm going to send you a copy of my book, Breaking Free from Broke, Daniel. In there, I unpack credit scores, credit cards, student loans, mortgages, including the FHA loan and all of that. And then I'll show you that path that I'm talking about, and I hope that I convince you to go down that path, because I don't want you calling back saying, I bought a house with my girlfriend. It was an FHA loan. We're underwater on this thing. We're breaking up. What the heck do I do? And we're probably going to take that call in the next hour. So this is not a, crazy, land. This is going to happen. This is a reality that we face. And I just want more for you than that. So if anyone out there, they want to buy a home the right way, you want to make this a blessing and not a burden, go to RamseySolutions.com/real estate. Our team has created a hub with tons of free tools, tons of free resources to help you reach your home goals, whether you're wanting to buy, you have a home you're wanting to sell, you want to buy investment property, you want to find a great real estate agent. We have it all in one place for you, including some great calculators as well. So be sure to check that out. RamseySolutions.com/real estate.
It just occurs to me, because I think he was absolutely, processing what we're telling him. Don't know if he'll do it. Don't know if he agrees with us. He was processing it. But it is so not fun compared to what he presented us with. What he has heard up to this point is so much more exciting.
It's not sexy.
And fun. And it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But it is not a great long-term play, and it is rife with risk. And yet it's being packaged as, you're an idiot if you don't do this. And that's what's really tricky about this stuff. So
there's a lot of ways to go about this, but we found this way actually works. No matter who you are, what your income is, but you got to get your risk meter back intact.